Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
A pleasant good morning to you indeed. It's always great to be in your early morning company. I'm Shane Seeley, holding on for Pearson Boyne, at least for one more day as we take you through the holiday season. Another day, hopefully you had a great weekend. Many of you were busy in the city, in Warrens, and further afield, right across the country. So many city centres now to touch and really enjoy what is a Beijing Christmas shopping experience. A new one for many. There are some new entities on the ground this year. So as you did it best over the weekend, I hope you went into that space and remember all of the great things that are on offer. Also, 24 degrees Celsius, that's the temperature right now. So very, very, very cool on the outside. So enjoy that. It will be mostly dry for today. I try to predict the weather sometimes and then it plays a trick on me. But that's what it says on the app, that for most of the day it will be pretty dry, pretty windy, and pretty cool. I mean, unless when you get to that 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock hour when it gets up to around 29 degrees Celsius, still cooler than the usual. So enjoy the cool Christmas that we are having so far. Some showers as well, showers of blessing, and I hope that they continue to bless you wherever you are watching us here from on Mornin Barbados. Well, whether you're in St. Lucie, St. James, to the south in Christchurch, or further afield in the diaspora, in the UK, in the US, and for those of you preparing to come home, you do your own countdown as you wait to get here to spend some time with your family and friends, and definitely with us. And always, as always, we have a great conversation to share with you this morning as we talk about the gift of giving and continue to talk about that throughout the season, especially when you have NGOs and just good, simply great people like the Sandlane Charitable Trust. And we'll talk about a drive that they recently, well, they drive for 2025. They have spent a lot of time, effort, and of course, donations to entities right across the board. So you'll find out about some of the work that they did this year. The list is long. And then what they're looking forward to in 2026. We'll also pay a visit to my other home, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, as we talk to the lead in our oncology department about what is happening in terms of treatment, how we are helping those who are receiving cancer care with us take that next step of their journey and hopefully extend it in most cases, especially with some new technology that we have on the ground. That will be a great conversation indeed. And we'll tell you about how you can give your animals, those dogs, those cats, those pets in general, a bit more love during this time of year. We'll get some help in doing that from Animal Control Officer Alison Cattle. So she offers some tips for you to give the animals some love, not only during the Christmas season. Please let it extend definitely beyond that. And then also this morning, as we did a bit of it last week, we'll get some of your early morning singing. So we're going to get you into the holiday spirit with some songs. And of course, we want you to call us because that's how we can hear you finish those lyrics. Those numbers to call, 228-5562 or 228-5563. More lyrics to come. Of course, we want to keep the holiday spirit going. So here we go. So get next to that phone, wherever you are, and finish these lyrics. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from. So you got to finish this one. And so I'm offering this simple phrase from to kids from. Can you finish those lyrics? Call us. 228-5562 or 228-5563. And come on, just let's lift everyone with your singing this morning and keep this Christmas spirit moving along in the month of December. I hope you're having a great month so far. Continue to enjoy the Christmas season, and you're doing it with us this morning by finishing these lyrics. So as we wait for those calls, and so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from, this one is pretty easy. Even I, who has and struggles with finishing those lyrics sometimes, I think I could get this one. I think so. Maybe so. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids. It's almost like you talk it through too. So this one shouldn't be too hard at all. So as we take you through this Christmas season, we're going to enjoy you singing some of these lyrics with us. We will continue this day in, day out, as we take you right down to December the 25th, Christmas Day, and beyond as well, because we want you to come and enjoy, and this is a part of the enjoyment as you have those conversations and listen to our conversations here on the couch. Many of them we will have to take you through the Yuletide season. Also happening this morning, you've got a Bajan coach coming in and a Bajan business coach, but you'll hear from a bit more about that shortly. Let's go to the phone lines for that first caller as we want you to finish those lyrics. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, all right. Where are you calling us from?
Christchurch.
You're in down south. All right. Let's see if you can take us up north and finish these lyrics for us. Do you think you have it?
Yes.
You fully awake?
Huh? I know it. Yeah.
All right. Let's go. The floor is yours.
And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. This echo messed me up.
The echo messed you up. It messing me up too. So hopefully we can correct that for our next caller. But yes, you got it right there. From 1 to 92. Thank you so much for calling and sharing with us.
All right. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So we got another caller. I know the other caller will want the last one, but they'll get this. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing. Good morning, caller. Okay. So yes, I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing. This one would catch some people. But you know what? I'll say this. Those who love Christmas, I don't think would fail on any of these. There are just those people who absolutely adore this time of year. They can't wait. They start counting down from the end of September. They want to forget independence. We can never forget independence here in Barbados, but they try to do that. They have their Christmas music blaring from people do their thing, but yes, there are those people out there who just can't wait to celebrate Christmas. And you see them putting up the countdowns on their social media page, IG, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And you would see it 364 days, or no, not 364, I got to do my math correctly. 300 plus days till Christmas. They're starting that countdown from January and February. Ridiculous. But yes, they love Christmas. And those are the ones that I'm pretty sure would be able to finish these Christmas songs, these really popular Christmas tunes. So call us 228-5562, 228-5563. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing. Finish the lyrics. Finish the lyrics. There is just one thing. You finish those lyrics. And we'll wait for those calls and get ready for the rest of today's edition of Morning Barbados. As I said, so many conversations to have. Enjoy us, spend some time with us, and of course we want to hear from you. Tune in on YouTube and send us your comments, share with us. We want to share them with the rest of the viewers here on the show. We'll take a quick break. More conversations to be had right here on Morning Barbados, this Monday edition.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together. There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
6:18 your time on a beautiful Monday morning. You have your morning rituals. Get that cup of coffee, that cup of tea, juice, water, whatever helps you to get through the morning. Some people like a bowl of fruits. That is not bad at all. It really gives you a little bit of energy, vitamin C, and some, depending on what fruits you're using, some antioxidants to help you push through the day. All is well. Please just try to pay more attention to your health at this time of year. Prevention is better than cure. And at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital recently, we would have installed and commissioned what is a state-of-the-art halcyon linear accelerator, halcyon hypersite linear accelerator. It is really supporting in a new way the work being done in the Department of Oncology and Nuclear Medicine, and leading that department is Dr. Lalitha Sripathi, our oncologist at our hospital. Good morning.
Good morning, Shane.
Good to see you so bright and early.
Thank you so much.
And I know I put additional burdens on you. You still have to go in and still push through, but you are treating patients now in a whole new way. Before we even get there, talk a bit about your work as an oncologist. Talk a bit about what you do in the department, leading the department at the QEH.
So, I'm a clinical oncologist. I give systemic treatments to cancer patients as well as radiation treatments to cancer patients. So, once patients come to us with confirmed diagnosis of cancer, we stage them. We see that we have everything we require in terms of investigations, biopsy reports, imaging reports. Once everything is ready, we come to know about the stage of the disease, the site of the disease. Then we formulate a treatment plan about starting the treatment if the patient needs chemotherapy first, then surgery, then radiation, or whatever, depending upon the site of the disease and stage of the disease. And then we would start the treatment of the patient. Also, patients who have started their treatment, we would keep them on follow-up, we would keep monitoring them, we do the regular imaging to see how they are progressing, how they are responding. So we provide comprehensive cancer care at our oncology center.
Yeah, and when you came to the hospital, we didn't have what we were going to show you, our viewers, just yet, which is the Halcyon Hypersite Linear Accelerator, which is really a game changer. I know you must be happy.
Very happy.
And I don't even want you to get into that just yet. You see the smile on her face. We want to take you. We had that drama-filled, when I say drama-filled, it was a real story to tell with bringing the linear accelerator into the hospital, but then it was that time for treating patients using this type of technology for the very first time. We want to take you into our linear accelerator, our LINAC bunker, to take a look at that journey. Where that
I'm pretty comfortable and I'm happy to know that my problem will be solved and I'll be cured and go on with my life. The team are gorgeous, very, very, very good, and I appreciate all of them.
On the first day for simulation, we would have taken a KV-CBCT, and now we're delivering that first treatment. We're matching today's image. Remember, it's image-guided radiation therapy. So we want to make sure every day we match that original position to ensure that we're delivering the treatment to the precise target volume.
And so far?
Absolutely fantastic. We're right there.
I never imagined that I would be in a position
but I just can't tell you how happy I am to be, a part of a history in making. This is truly a historic moment for the country, and we are now going towards providing the best radiation treatments to our patients. So just very, very happy. What we do is once we get a patient here, we immobilize them, take their CT scan, and we use that CT scan to plan the radiation treatments. It's not the diagnostic CT scan. And then the patient goes back home and we plan the radiation treatment. We verify that all of our radiation treatment is precise, is accurate, it is being delivered just like how we wanted it to be. And once we have everything in place, everything is perfect, we call back the patient for treatment. And once the patient is here, we set the patient on couch in the position that she needs to be treated, and then we verify her position again using the CT image. And once we see that she is in the exact same position that how we want it to be during the treatment, we proceed with the treatment. And all of this, including the image verification, patient setup, treatment, everything is completed in few minutes with precision, accuracy.
And for those patients who start here, this is just the start of their journey. The expectation is that we treat them over a course of a couple of days. In the case of our first patient, our breast cancer patient, she would spend at least 3 weeks receiving daily radiation therapy once per day, 5 days a week for 3 weeks. And some of the other patients, depending on their cancer diagnosis, they would be spending shorter periods with us or longer periods with us. If we continue on this trajectory, treating at least 25 patients per month, within about a 6-month period, we should knock down the existing backlog of patients that we have. We will continue to treat the cancer population that require this type of care, but it also provides the opportunity for the hospital and the radiation oncology department to lend support and treat patients from other Caribbean countries who may not have an available and accessible medical linear accelerator. So ecstatic times here for us in the department, and we are definitely looking forward to the future of radiation therapy at the hospital.
The journey of the first patient being treated on our linear accelerator at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. You saw Dr. Tripathi there leading the charge, the troops. Happy with the results you've seen. Talk a bit about that moment in terms of examining the patient and just trying to make sure that you're using this machine as it should be used.
Yes, so like I said, once we see the patient and we have everything that we would need to start the radiation treatments, we would explain to them the procedure, take their consent, and then we would get a CT scan of the patient, and that CT scan is to plan the radiation treatment, and the patient then goes back home. We plan our radiation treatment and we verify by doing procedure called quality assurance and make sure that everything is going perfect. And when everything is perfect, just like how we wanted, we call back the patient. We set the patient on the couch in the treatment position and we verify the position by again taking another CT scan on the machine. And once we are sure that our images are matching, everything is precise, accurate, we would go ahead with the radiation treatment. And with Halcyon, what happens is we are doing image guided radiation treatments.
Right.
So our treatments are focused precisely on the tumor, and thereby we are able to deliver high precision radiation doses confined to the tumor, simultaneously avoiding all the normal tissues and structures. And we are doing it repeatedly on a day-to-day basis. Every day the patient is getting treatment. And so what we are trying to do is to get better outcomes with fewer side effects and better quality of life for patients. So it's been very satisfying, very gratifying. The whole experience, the starting of the treatment's been very emotional, and
I was about to say,
yes,
I can see the smile on your face and the joy that this brings.
Yes.
To the delivery of care that you
Yes.
can now offer in your department.
Yes, true, because it's been, very painful to tell patients. The government has been very supportive. We were sending patients abroad, but it is not very convenient when we consider patients, to go away from their families, to stay in a foreign place for some time, get their treatments. So I cannot express you how happy patients are when we tell them that now we have everything at home in our place and that they need not travel anywhere, and they are getting all the advanced radiation treatments on par with developed nations. They are happy, and to see them happy makes us all happy as well. So yes, that is a beautiful moment that we share every time we tell patients that. Every time patients are like, oh, we are getting treatments here now, we would not have to wait anymore, we would not have to go anymore. So yes,
that's amazing. That's amazing. And I think that even the fact that they're doing it at home close to their family and their loved ones, that helps with the healing process in this journey. How many patients, we saw the first one there, how many patients so far have received some level of care treatment on the linear accelerator?
So till now, 2 patients completed treatment and 15 patients are taking radiation treatment. So far I can say like 17 patients since the time we started our LINAC.
Okay, and what does the future hold? I mean, I can only imagine, as Mr. Drake said, medical physicist, that we could possibly see an influx from CARICOM and further afield as well?
Yes, because having a radiation facility, it's very expensive to procure all the equipment, to maintain all the equipment. So not every country has this setup. Not every country has a basic radiation center to begin with. So we are getting requests from radiation oncologists from other countries to facilitate the patient's treatments at our place. So yes, there is a much requirement of radiation treatments for patients in other Caribbean islands, because like I said, there is no center, no basic center, and what we have is something that is high-end, state of the art. So all of them are eagerly looking forward to starting their patients' treatments here at our place.
Talk about those treatment plans. You have been able to really improve and shorten waiting times in that department. That's a whole journey on its own. Speak about how you were able to curb what were in some cases extended waits to now somewhat like something in the region of 30 days, and it even went down to 14 days at one point.
Yes, so I have to start by saying that it's all because of the wonderful team of oncology. It would not have been possible, it is not a one person's task or something that can be accomplished by a single person, My wonderful team of doctors, nurses, front office executives, orderlies, everybody played their part. Everybody, without complaining, turned up every day, gave their best, and what we have achieved and what we are doing every day, it's because of all of them. So I
pause on that achievement, and a real salute there to those doctors and nurses working under Dr. Sripathi. You're going to spend a little bit more time with us, Dr. Sripathi. We'll take a break and we'll come back and talk a bit more about cancer care, world-class cancer care happening right at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital here in Barbados. We will take a break and be right back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
6:33 on a beautiful Monday morning. Dr. Lalitha Sripathi, oncologist, clinical oncologist, and lead in the department at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, is spending some time with us talking about this new journey using the linear accelerator. Patients now receiving treatment on it. A number of them, more than a dozen, have gone through some rounds of radiation and targeted radiation, and improved outcomes are expected using this new equipment. And you were speaking before we went to break, thanking the staff working with you, but also talking about how that collaborative effort has been able to improve the situation for patients coming to the department.
So we increase the number of patients that we see each day, every week. So that helped us in overall reducing the treatment time. And so that has what made us, in shortening the waiting time to see doctors, to start their treatments. So we increase the overall number of patients that we see every day. So the number of patients, new patients that are seen every day has increased. The number of patients, regular patients that are seen on a daily basis has increased. The number of patients receiving chemotherapy has increased. And now we are working towards reducing our backlog of radiation patients.
So
yes.
perfect. And this is for all types of cancer. Talk
Yes.
about the cancer environment in Barbados. What are you treating?
So the most common cancers that we see here are prostate cancers and colorectal cancers, breast cancers, and uterine cancers. Colorectal cancers, only in the rectal cancers the radiation is involved, but otherwise it is treated by surgery and systemic treatment. So if I combine systemic treatments and radiation, then the common cancers that we see here are prostate, breast, uterine cancers. So unfortunately we have high incidence of these cancers here and increasing incidence with each year and high mortality rates. So we are trying to provide the best standard of care that is evidence-based to our patients, but we definitely need much more work in terms of promoting awareness, raising awareness of these common cancers, and methods of prevention. Mainly we need to emphasize on the common risk factors that are attributable to these cancers, like consumption of unhealthy diet like red meat, processed meats, processed foods, sugary drinks, and sedentary lifestyle, obesity, alcohol consumption. All of these are common risk factors that are involved in the development of these cancers. So we really need to emphasize on cancer prevention because by focusing on this, we are not just reducing the incidence of cancer, we are also helping in reducing the incidence of other major non-communicable diseases like diabetes, heart attacks, strokes. So we are taking care of all of those by making healthy lifestyle changes.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yes.
Healthy lifestyle changes. And they can be difficult for many who have been accustomed to those sugar-sweetened beverages, to just sweet things in general. How do you advise patients about making that change, making that is a difficult task to let go of something that you've become so accustomed to, but is something that can basically help to save your life?
True, Shane, that has really been a challenge. So when we see patients, we tell patients one-on-one basis to patients and their families on the diet that they need to be, the diet that they should forego, the lifestyle changes they need to make, and most of them are like, okay, it's difficult, but we are going to get there, we are going to start our baby steps. So, whenever we see patients, we are telling them on a one-on-one basis, but like I said, much activities we need to increase this awareness and to educate our patients, our general public on how to prevent all of this in the first place. And then comes screening, getting regular screening from the age of 40 for all the common cancers that we see here, early detection, timely treatment. But the most important of all is always the prevention.
Prevention better than cure.
Yes.
Yes, you touched on detection there. What options, I know in the polyclinic setting there are options available, but we need to encourage people to get up off of their couches and go get tested.
Yes.
Talk about some of the signs and symptoms with some of the common cancers that we see in our population. You mentioned breast cancer. The first patient that you would have seen treated there on the linear accelerator was a breast cancer patient. What do people look out for in terms of signs and symptoms of these cancers that you are now treating with the hypersite linear accelerator?
So to begin with, I would encourage all women over the age of 40 to start with their screening by getting a screening mammogram done. And then they can, if that is all normal, they can continue to get regular annual mammograms. And in the when we are considering the signs and symptoms, if they happen to notice any lumps in their breast or in the axilla, you know, any this is the most common method of presentation, a lump in the breast, but it can also present as, you know, skin changes in the size or shape, or any discharge or bleeding, change in the symmetry of the breast. So if they notice anything abnormal, then they have to immediately go back to their care provider and get necessary tests and examination. So that is with regards to the breast cancer. Uterine cancer, again, most commonly happens in older women. So what we call post-menopausal bleeding, meaning once their periods have stopped, they have a normal life, and suddenly they see some vaginal bleeding, some spotting. Again, they have to immediately get back to their gyne-oncologist and get necessary tests done. For colorectal cancers, we may see what we call altered bowel movements. There could be loose stools, there could be constipation, there could be loss of weight, there could be blood in stools, dark colored stools. So any of these, again, get the test done. And for prostate cancers, unfortunately, it's a very slow growing tumor, you know, and the presenting features wise, we cannot really differentiate. Aging males, they may have like urine related symptoms like frequency, urgency, hesitancy. Prostate cancers would present in a similar way. So the best would be, again, to get screening done. All of these cancers, we start screening from the age of 40 to 45.
I was going to say age is a trigger.
Yes.
So once you see, you know, you're racking up the years.
Yes, from the age 40, yes.
It's difficult for me to even say, but yes,
yes,
you need to go get tested.
Because unfortunately, we are seeing women in their 50s being diagnosed with breast cancers, and men as well as diagnosed with prostate cancers, colorectal cancers in their 50s. So we usually say like to start with the screening from the age of 40 to 45, and you know, if they have any family member with a history of cancer, then to start screening 10 years prior to the youngest family member's age diagnosed with the cancer.
Now, both my grandparents on my father's side passed away with some form of cancer, and on my mother's side as well. So these are also hereditary triggers that should prompt you to go get tested?
Yes, definitely.
And talk about, are you still seeing many of the patients coming in late, as in late stage diagnosis with cancer?
Here I have to say, thanks to certain NGOs, they are doing an amazing job in promoting awareness and screening. In fact, our first patient was diagnosed with stage 0 breast cancer. She didn't have any lump. She got it detected when she got the screening done. Wow. So we have patients who walk into our clinic saying they didn't have any lump. They got the screening done because they just thought to get it done.
That's great.
Yes. So it feels very good to see such patients. So I can say, like, you know, we are having good number of patients coming in with stage 0 cancers or with early stage cancers, but having said that, we do still see patients who come to us in late stage advanced presentations, and they wouldn't make up their mind. They would still want to try some home remedies, try some generic treatment. So we would keep telling them, you know, that wouldn't really help them much. They should come back to us and start their treatments earlier. So yes, we do see that as well.
Great to hear, though. I've not heard that many people are now coming in after early detection.
Yes.
So that's amazing news.
Yes.
The other side of the coin is this home remedy thing. that conversation must be tough to try to tell someone these home remedies, wouldn't really work for you. And then there are even some people that I hear on the odd occasion that say, I don't want any treatment.
Yes.
I'll just let whatever happen, whatever will happen, happen.
Yes.
That is a tough act to like follow in terms of you having a conversation with them and helping them to change their minds about actually coming to get the treatment that they really require.
Yes, that is truly challenging. Starting their treatments, maintaining their treatments, that is not as challenging as convincing them to start their treatments in the first place. Not for all, for some patients, because they are so firm in their beliefs that they think treatments can affect them bad or worse than the disease, and we keep telling them that's not true. Treatments are tough, but we could help facilitate, manage all their side effects while undergoing treatments. And definitely when we compare disease with the treatment, disease is always the worst. So we try to explain that to patients in many ways possible, multiple rounds of counseling by different members. But yes, that is one challenge that exists.
How does having the linear accelerator help the argument with encouraging them to get treatment? Because the treatment, if you can talk a bit about that, is very short. It doesn't last too long.
Yes.
You go through multiple rounds.
Yes.
But you don't spend too long on it.
Yes, that is true. So what we tell patients is that radiation treatments are absolutely painless, non-invasive. They just have to lie down on the couch, just like how they lie down while getting a CT scan. And then the treatments are quite faster, except for patients like, prostate patients, where we need to have certain protocols like empty rectum, full bladder. So that would take time. But all in all, the treatments are quite faster. And earlier, we used to give treatments with radiation treatments for 7 to 8 weeks, conventional. But from then, we came down to giving treatments in 3 to 4 weeks.
Wow.
With this high precision radiation, yes. So we are giving faster treatments, we are giving shorter treatments, and with the image-guided radiation treatment, the precision, there is better sparing of side effects and higher radiation doses delivered to the tumor. So we have better outcomes with better quality of life. So we tell all of this to our patients, and yes, they are convinced to start their treatments, and so far it's been going all good.
There is some light at the end of the tunnel now.
Definitely.
A lot more light, and of course we'll continue to share it right here through channels like this on Mornin Barbados and further afield. Dr. Sripathi, thank you for choosing Barbados as your place to deliver this treatment. We're happy to have you here. We need more oncologists for sure, but at least we have you to really crack down and crack down on that waiting list, crack down on the backlog, and move in the right direction. Appreciate you coming here to sharing everything happening at your department at the QEH on Mornin Barbados. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Shane, for having me here. I feel the same, glad and grateful.
Appreciate it. So you heard it, a lot happening at the oncology department at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital as far as that treatment on the linear accelerator is concerned. And of course, you'll get more doses of that news, great news, encouraging news coming from our hospital. We'll take a break here. We got a lot more good things to share with you, and of course at this time of the year it's all about sharing, and we're doing that here on Monday on Mornin Barbados. Don't go anywhere.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
6:49 is our time. Some good information happening behind the scenes, at least for me. Now you'll get some of it right now because we have Animal Control Officer, the only one on the island, Alison Cattle. She is with the Ministry of Health and Wellness on that side of things. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good Merry Christmas.
Barbados. Thank you. Same to you.
Only dogs?
Yes, only dogs.
So while I was speaking about pets before, I apparently was misleading you. They deal with strictly dogs. Yes. Strictly dogs, and dogs probably the preferred pet still in Barbados. But people love their dogs.
Yes.
People do love their dogs, and we want them to show them as much love as possible, not only at this time of year, but beyond that. Talk a bit about what you do as an animal control officer.
Okay, so my duties, as you said, primarily dogs, and I manage the operation, which has staff, the admin side of things, but then we have to manage these dogs that comes in to the organization. We also have programs for community outreach so that the message could be clear, understood, and be disseminated out there, because we find that, especially at this time of year, I know you asked me what we did, but I must get this message out there. At this time of year, we rather not let that dog go or give a dog as a pet, a puppy, because it ends right back up with us after the new year, and that's sad. That's unfortunate. Dogs have feelings.
So you prefer not to have gifts
as puppies
during Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're cute and cuddly and fat and stuff with mommy's breast milk and perhaps what we are feeding them and so on. At the end of that, when we see these dogs once again, you can't believe it's the same dog that leaves us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad condition.
Bad condition.
Yes.
Talk a bit more about some of those stories. So this is a trend then? This is a trend that you've been monitoring?
Absolutely, it is a trend. Hence, I've been here for weeks after weeks trying to promote animal welfare, which is very important to us and all the shelters. We are not a shelter, but all the shelters that are on the island, we are full. And then when persons call and want their dogs, they want to get rid of their dogs, as they say, but we say surrender. When they want to surrender their dog, the first place, obviously, their call is us. And we have to say sometimes, unfortunately, we're not the ambulance service, so we can't just come as you call. We have to schedule everything because we are a very small operation in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Department Animal Control Center, where we're located Black Rock St. Michael, next to the Archives Department, down by the Usain Bolt Stadium. So when persons give a dog as a puppy, for example, first thing, children should not have dogs. That's not their responsibility at all.
Yeah, because it normally turns into the responsibility of the parent, who then has no time to care for the dog.
And that's a good point, because then, like you said, they don't have any time, and you should get a dog based on your needs, not necessarily your wants. You should get a dog that suits your lifestyle. If you have a very busy lifestyle, I think you should get it, because dog needs attention. Dog needs to walk. You walk the dog and pet the dog and play with the dog and make sure they don't have no ticks and fleas and open wounds, because that's what our protocols are. No ticks, no fleas, no open wounds before coming into us, and give them a bath as well, because obviously the drivers have to handle these dogs. When they get to us at the center, we have to merge them with our other dogs. So we rather not have dogs with ticks, fleas, and open wounds, ideally.
This conversation can get very interesting, because when I think about, you're concerned about how people are treating dogs and treating these animals. You want them to get more love. And then there is, when you travel, you see how people treat their dogs. Yes. And I say, I'm amazed. The dogs treat better than us. Not only are the dogs get a lot of attention, but they're normally inside, because outside is generally cold, depending on where you go. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people have developed this practice of having the dogs inside. The dogs are part of the family, and as they should feel a part of the family, because they're living, breathing beings. Mm-hmm. But in Barbados, most dogs are normally kept on the outside. What is your take on this? Inside or outside? How should we go forward in terms of treating our dogs? And outside now is a different outside than 10 and 15 years ago.
We all should, as I said, if you're going to take a dog, you have to make provisions for that dog. Mm-hmm. Not just for the dog to be on a chain all its life or shut up in a dog house, for example. Because the welfare, the psychological welfare of these animals, I'm no vet by no long shot, but the welfare of these animals are very important to us. So if you're going to get a dog, for example, and you're not going to allow it to come into your house or in a garage area or confined area, if there's lightning with all the fireworks and so on going on, or when there's bad weather, your dog needs adequate security, because they will attempt to get away, because they're going to think that home is unsafe when they're hearing this fireworks or they're hearing the thunder and the lightning and all of that. So they're going to feel unsafe. So if they're close to you or they can see you, they will feel much better. So we would want persons to understand, learn more, do more for their dogs, not just have it shut up in a box or tied off. I know persons don't have an enclosed area, and that's unfortunate, because these are things then perhaps that need to be enforced, that you have a high fence area where your dog would be contained for the, having the freedom to run around, and using the 5 freedoms as we spoke to before. You could always Google that, for example, but freedom from thirst and hunger, to be just a dog, roll over and jumping up and playing and stuff like that. So we would want to have persons who are going to get a dog, just be able to care for it. And if you can't no longer care for it, unfortunately, now that we're encouraging persons to call us, but we rather you call us than let it go to become a stray, because then it's a problem to society, it's a problem to human life, it's a problem to livestock, and it's a problem to cause road traffic accidents and so on. So we rather persons call the Animal Control Center at 536-3162-3163. You could always see us on Instagram and Facebook pages as well.
I'll let you give those numbers again. Another Bajan custom, giving dogs water. They fill the bowls. You should clean your dog bowls as well, please. Oh, yes. Don't let them develop any moss, any algae, anything like that. But then, you probably turn on your tap and let the water run into the bowl. The water coming out the taps is a bit warmer.
Yes.
Talk a bit about that. What should you do? Should you drop a few blocks of ice in the bowl, just to make it a bit more accommodating, a bit more cool, especially on those hot days for the dog? And I think we got to get more accustomed to, as you said, bathing the dogs and bringing them inside. Yes. Just bring them inside. I know some people that might be, a far-fetched notion.
Yes.
But I think we need to move in that direction. Yes. If these animals are really to receive the attention that they need, not that you want to give them, that they need.
It is true. Now,
so talk about the water first.
Yes.
What are we doing with the water?
We can drop some ice blocks into the water to make it a little more palatable, more cooler, because the dogs are already overheated if they go put their paw pads on the tarmac, the asphalt, or whatever we have around here. And so some cooling down of the water would be adequate. In addition, don't have your dogs on the eastern side of the house and on evenings, because that's where the sun is setting, going down on the west side, and therefore your dog is panting profusely, and you're not home to see this, so you're never aware that your dog taking the brunt of the sun when it is setting. So you have to first understand the location, the positioning of your dog. With the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. So if you have your dog house facing the west, I pass and I see that, and it irritates me. I can't stop at everyone all the time, but I really implore the public of Barbados to have an understanding of what's going on surrounding your dog. And yes, like you said, persons may not be for dogs coming into their homes, and that's okay. But provide good shelter, not some small squeeze up things that the dog can't stretch, jump, run.
Squeeze up things.
Yes, small and very, very, very small.
I'm laughing, but that is really not funny.
No,
because
it hinders development and growth, yeah? Dog needs to stretch and jump, especially if you have a Rottweiler, what we call a Rottie. They're jumpers, come on. Our Alastations and Belgian Malinois and those type of Jack Russells.
Big dog, well, no, you got
Jack
the other
Russells,
side.
they love to jump. And I can't jump in something as small as this table in front of me.
Yeah.
So you need to have adequate housing. So what we would always say about that, though, is to have the house 2.5 times size the dog at adult stage, or at least 3 times the height of the dog at adult stage, so they provide adequate shelter, something big that can take some of the heat off the dog when it comes down.
Yeah, but that heat during the day could be grueling.
It is.
You have to then pay attention to the materials that you're using to build that home for the dog.
Yes.
You want materials that will reflect the heat instead of absorb it and then create a whole other level of heat oven effect inside of the dog house.
That's true, because dog can, I'm not a vet, as I said before, but dogs can easily get heat stroke. They don't do heat very well. So even if you see your dog overheating, put the paws in water and don't wet the body down.
Yeah, I feel for Akitas outside. It's a dog that is built for winter in this temperature, especially during those summer months.
And don't have your house in a galvanized or permaclad housing. That should only primarily be for the roof, if so, but not the entire structure of the house at all. That's too much heat bearing down on the dog. And then leaving the dog out, especially if it's a female, leaving her as a target for male. If you don't have paling or you don't have fence or guard wall, your female dog is there just as a target to get pregnant. While you're at work or wherever, your dog is tied out there before the dog house having a door, then you just have your dog there waiting to get puppies. And actually they can have like 2 litters per year. And dogs, you can't determine how many puppies they have. So what we're gonna do with those litters? We're either gonna kill them like some people do. Some people do some cruel things to animals, drown them, they bring them to us, mommy stays behind, and they bring them to us. And the other thing is about that they don't know who their dog has mate with. So therefore, you may get mixed breed pups, what you call common breed pups. You may get mixed breed pups, and you may not want that. So this is when you're looking to give them up now because you're thinking that you can make money off your dog, which is not another good aspect of things at all. Because persons only want the dog when it can bear puppies, and after that couple of litters, they want to give it up. And if you can't come quick enough, they want to let it go. So we rather implore the public of Barbados, please, do not let your dogs go. Call 536-3162 or 3163 and call the Animal Control Center between 8:30 and 4:30 daily, Monday to Friday. We close on weekends and public holidays.
Right, get the information you need from Ms. Cattle and her team. They will help direct you on best practices and really show some love for your dog and your animals in general this Christmas. I know cats, they do their own thing, but still you got to pay attention to them as well.
Yes.
Alison, thank you for sharing with us, and the information is great. Call her. We'll try to share those numbers again. You got them from Miss Alison Cattle. She's an animal control officer working with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, helping those dogs on the island, better outcomes for them as well. Thanks again. Coming up after the break, we have your news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Leading our news this morning, residents of Kendall Plantation in St. John will soon be able to buy the land they occupy for just 10 cents per square foot. The announcement was made by the Member of Parliament for St. John, Charles Griffith, during a town hall over the weekend. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The St. John MP said the agreement follows months of representation that began last year. According to this agreement, the plantation owner will sell residents the land at 10 cents per square foot. The Member of Parliament, who was also Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, also said the hope is that a portion of the land located next to the community centre will be donated to the residents for use as a playing field.
The agreement is now in place that as long as persons are living on the land in Kendall, that land will be sold to them at 10 cents per square foot by the owner of the plantation. Now, I'm hoping that with me revisiting the request for land to have a playing field at this particular community, that it will be looked at in a favorable light, and maybe, just maybe, the youngster who just indicated that football is his preference in terms of sports may be able at some point in time in the not too distant future, if all goes according to plan, to have a playing field in the community that will benefit not only him, but all of the other youngsters who are aspiring to be involved in sports or a particular discipline in this location.
The Minister further announced plans to establish management committees at community centres across the island to oversee operations after hours.
So you have from 5 or so in the evening until maybe 11 at night, when individuals are now coming home from work, an opportunity to stage developmental programs within the centre, meaning that the youngsters from Kendall now will now have extended time to, one, form clubs within the community. That is a major plank of the development of our young people, where you bring structure to their lives by being involved in a community club. In terms of training, the ministry is providing a whole suite of training programs for communities, and I would want for Kendall to be involved in the process.
Minister Griffith urged residents to take the lead in forming the communities and stressed they should be inclusive. He said they should combine the experience of older members with the fresh perspective of younger people.
I think there's a need across Barbados for us to have a program at community level where we're able to bridge that generation gap.
The St. John MP said the initiative is aimed at educating and empowering communities and ensuring knowledge is passed on. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
The Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Kirk Humphrey, says government will announce the launch of the Social Empowerment Agency, SEA, in the first week of next year. The new agency is designed to support vulnerable groups, including the elderly, children, and people living with disabilities. Speaking to CBC News at his annual Christmas party for children in St. Michael South over the weekend, Minister Humphrey said a lot of work has been going on behind the scenes to get the agency off the ground, and it's now becoming a reality.
You know, we have had a lot of conversation around the amalgamation of these social services, where we brought together Child Care Board, National Disabilities United Welfare Department, and the National Assistance Board. We are in a position now to announce that will be launched officially in the first week in January, and I'm holding the date to my chest because we have to have the final conversation with the union. I'm also pleased to announce that about 99% of the staff agreed voluntarily to join the Social Empowerment Agency. And we're also in a position to announce that the proclamation of the Social Empowerment Agency legislation, the Child Protection legislation, the Disabilities legislation will all occur in the first week in January.
Barbados' farming sector is set for a boost as 163 participants successfully completed the first cohort of the Farming and Fishing Gateway Training Initiative. Rachel Eargard has that story.
The program, which equips participants with skills to drive productivity and innovation, is being hailed as a blueprint for the country's agricultural future. Senior Minister in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for coordinating infrastructural projects, Dr. William Duguid, told the graduates they now hold the keys to a future where Barbados feeds itself and prospers.
Your training is not the end. It is the beginning. The beginning of a business or businesses that will rise from your ideas, not mine anymore. You are the ones that will turn challenges into opportunities and opportunities into success stories.
Minister of Training and Tertiary Education, Sandra Husbands, described the graduates as the skilled professionals they have been waiting for to drive the sector forward.
You represent the finest outcome of a national priority, the nexus where education meets economic necessity. I want you to listen out for the launch of the Hope Agricultural Institute, because it will provide you with the opportunities to take further steps, higher steps in your pursuit of agriculture. And as you roll with that program, you will be part of the revolution that will change Barbados and help Barbados to earn differently from agriculture.
Director of Tertiary Education, Dr. Roderick Rudder, also revealed plans to expand the Gateway training model next year to the hospitality sector, providing even more opportunities for skill development across the island.
These efforts align with government's mission to ensure that not only we secure food and agriculture for our people, but that we build out the skill sets of Barbadians to make them more employable, entrepreneurial, and that we, as a people, can raise the standards in this country to ensure that we can not only feed ourselves, but we can make sure that our country continues to grow.
With the Farming and Fishing Gateway Training Initiative now completed, Minister Husbands has encouraged all Barbadians to take part in the initiative to grow for themselves. She has also pledged to enroll in the program herself in the near future. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
On the tourism front, the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated, Andrea Franklin, says the tourism sector needs more Barbadians, especially young people, to thrive. Speaking yesterday morning at the Mount of Praise Wesleyan Holiness Church during a service to mark Tourism Week, Ms. Franklin said, while the industry is often measured in dollars and cents, real growth comes when more citizens are actively involved and succeeding in the sector.
This year's theme for Tourism Week is tourism and sustainable transformation, and it compels us to see tourism as an agent of positive change, driving social progress and creating more benefits for more people. It is not enough to just speak of financial growth for hotel chains, restaurants, and tourism-based companies. We need more people, especially our youth, thriving in this industry, not just as workers, but as entrepreneurs, investors, and owners.
MI CEO says even Barbadians who aren't owners or employees in the sector have a role to play.
Let us also consider how we as tourism practitioners must adapt to meet this moment. We have the immense responsibility of developing and enhancing this industry that contributes so much to the socio-economic well-being of our nation and our people. We must be prepared to expand our perspectives, embracing new approaches and methodologies. Let us therefore recommit ourselves to being responsible leaders, and dedicated tourism practitioners who serve with integrity.
Sporting news now. Barbados' under-13s are now 2 down in their 2025 CGB BCA 5-match bilateral cricket series, losing the second match to host Guyana yesterday. Coming off a 7-wicket defeat on Saturday, then Sunday they lost by 9 wickets. Batting first, the Young Pride were all out for 138 in 39.2 overs, despite a solid knock of 65 from Natari Levine. That included 5 fours and 2 sixes. Deshaun Ramnoff took 3 for 21. Let's look at that innings.
Wow, that one is in the air. A diving effort as he taken the catch. Look at the celebration there.
In the air, Mackay Dowling again. Down the track, it's in the air. Mid-off comes in. Takes it, Collins.
Pushed into the offside. Quick single. And he's going to be short of his ground. And immediately.
Very good delivery. Knocks off stump. And that's the end of Wilkinson.
Pull away into the air. And into the gap as well. It's going to go all the way for 4. Lofted into the air, but straight down the throat of long off. Scantlebury.
This one is in the air in the onside. Eyes on it. Dowling. Who else?
And they appreciate that everyone has to pass through the stage. Oh boy, how's that? That's a close shout. And the finger goes up.
Because this is the best of 50. Oh, that's pulled away. Let me see, that is. That's a wonderful shot there by Lavin.
Barbados bat it out. Levine looking to drive powerfully. Oh my.
Hines looks solid as well.
On the leg side, a lazy reach there from the keeper, and that's gonna run away for 4.
Comes to pressure situations.
Full toss and helped on its way. That one's gonna go all the way. Oh, how was that? And umpire Balio, I said that's out. So Levine, the last man to be dismissed in the 40th over. Barbados losing their last wicket for 138.
Yes, and in reply, led by 82 not out from Lomar Sicharan, Guyana reached the target on 139 for 1. The third match is set for tomorrow. That's a look at news and sports. More news will come your way at midday, and of course you have the full package, CBC News Night at 7 p.m. We'll take a break here. A lot more to come on this morning's edition. You'll hear that address from the Prime Minister, a recent address she made. A lot to say in terms of development here in Barbados, so you'll get the details coming up soon. And also we'll spend some time hearing from the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust and a special initiative they're connected to with the Barbados Kidney Association, and a bit more about their work during 2025 and looking beyond as well. That and a whole lot more coming up in the second half of Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Your time 7:17. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, spending some time with us. Anytime that we have the opportunity to hear about development and things happening on the ground from our Prime Minister, it is definitely something that we need to listen to get a better understanding of where the country is going, the direction of Barbados and CARICOM together. So recently, this was her addressing a forum about development and about other issues that we are seeing on the ground. Let's hear what the Prime Minister has to say.
Fellow Barbadians, I'd like to speak with you directly this evening about the Economic Diversification and Growth Fund Bill. As always, not to talk at you, but to talk with you. I know that many of you have questions. I know that some of you may even feel uneasy. I know that in moments like these, especially when economics or public funds and jobs are involved, sometimes mistrust can creep in very quickly for a few of our people. That is understandable. Economic policy affects our livelihoods, our households, our futures. And when you feel uncertain or feel that something has not been explained clearly enough, you have every right to ask questions. While our parliamentary proceedings are public and accessible, I fully accept that it is not reasonable to expect every citizen to watch Parliament, to read legislation, or to decipher financial language on their own. We expect that of those who really belong to the financial literacy class, but not everyone. If we have not explained something carefully enough, then it is our responsibility, and certainly my responsibility, to come and explain it plainly, directly, and respectfully. And this is what I'm doing now. The Economic Diversification and Growth Fund Bill has been designed and will be implemented with a clear purpose: to protect and to grow jobs, to enhance foreign and domestic investment, and to grow our economy for all Barbadians, especially in a very uncertain global environment. Much has been said publicly about this bill. Some of it has been emotional, and yes, some of it has been political. But I do not dismiss emotion, and I do not dismiss concern. Once we slow the conversation down and look carefully at the facts, a clearer and more balanced picture emerges. Let me start with where we came from, and I must do so because context is always crucial, not just in this matter. Under the previous administration, foreign international business companies were taxed at rates as low as 2.5% and declining to 1.5%. While local companies here in Barbados were taxed at 25% when we came to office in 2018. That is a fact. That system was judged by international regulators to be unacceptable given the ring fencing we provided in favor of foreign companies. In other words, there were two different regimes for foreign and local companies. More importantly, it therefore placed Barbadian businesses at a severe disadvantage in their own country. We corrected that and removed the disparity between the treatment of local and foreign companies with respect to taxation. We told you then that all business is local and international, and that we do not have the luxury of separating the two. But we were able to create a separate regime for small businesses, and small businesses today are taxed at 5.5%, and other companies, whether local or foreign, are taxed at 9%. In addition, from the next financial year, 2026 to 2027, we expect that there will be a number of companies whose revenue exceeds 750 million euros who will be taxed at 15%, which is the global minimum tax that the OECD prescribed. If we do not do so, the country in which they operate businesses will have the right to tax any difference between what they pay here below 15% and the actual 15%. Accordingly, foreign companies now pay more, not less than they did before we came to office. And some will even more pay more in the next financial year, as I just indicated. That is a fact. And that reform has brought in substantially more corporate tax revenue for Barbados, starting last year and continuing this year. Revenue which we have already begun to share with the people of this country, and indeed to do the things to make this country stronger. Revenue that helps protect our social services, our infrastructure, and indeed our stability and platform for prosperity. But my friends, that reform also created a new challenge. If we stop there, if we raise taxes but do nothing else, we risk losing existing investors, as has happened with the USA market in the last 2 years, and we have and will become unattractive to new ones without more. Our tax base becomes very narrow and very tenuous, even though we are earning more revenue. In other words, a smaller number of taxpayers, even though you're earning significantly more money because of the corporate tax reform of 18 months ago. This, my friends, is not sustainable for Barbados in the medium term. We need to encourage more companies with economic substance, local or foreign, to be operating here and to be creating jobs and to be earning foreign exchange and, yes, paying taxes. For you see, when substantive economic investment comes, we get jobs. And when those investors leave or shut down locally, those jobs go. Foreign exchange dries up and government revenue shrinks. These are all the facts of the lived Caribbean experience. We saw it with Intel here in Barbados when they closed in the early 1980s, and so many others. In fact, recently, in 2022, we saw it with TT Electronics, who left our shores, and so went the jobs, the foreign exchange, and the tax revenue from them. And in that case, it was approximately 350 jobs. Imagine the economic activity that they spawned locally from those 350 Bajans working. Have we been in a better position fiscally at the time, we would be in a position to see what support we could have put in place. But we were, as you know, in the middle of COVID, where we were having to do structural adjustment for the rest of the country to protect those who were not earning and to be able to expand significantly the amounts of money available to the Ministry of Health to keep people alive and to keep people well. So the question before us, my friends, is simple but serious. How do we remain competitive for investment and jobs without violating international tax rules or without risk being blacklisted again? Please remember that blacklisting leads to companies wanting also to leave our jurisdiction, as companies are compromised in doing their business in the countries where Barbados is blacklisted. That is why we work so hard to remove the blacklisting, both as a result of the OECD and the Financial Action Task Force, and it took us years to do so. We inherited the situation, but we accepted it was our responsibility to remove it, and we have been successful in removing it. My friends, the old tools are gone. The days of blanket tax holidays and deep tax concessions are over. And I will be real with you, they're not going to be coming back. What remains is the need for smart, lawful, transparent alternatives, and that is exactly what this bill seeks to provide. The Economic Diversification and Growth Fund is designed to augment, not replace, our economic toolkit. It allows Barbados to remain attractive for investment that earns foreign exchange, that creates jobs, and yes, that still pays taxes. So now let me be very clear about what this bill does and what it does not do. No investment or support will be given to any foreign company that does not significantly expand employment in Barbados. The bill speaks of at least 100 jobs being created to be eligible. And indeed, they must also earn foreign exchange above certain thresholds. These companies will still pay tax at 9%, not the old rates of 2.5% declining to 1.5%, so that they will be paying significantly more taxes. And those few who are subject to the 15% rate of tax will also pay that from next year. Equally important, this fund is not closed to Barbadians. Local companies with a foreign presence can also benefit. We want companies to also export capital so that when bad things happen here like a hurricane, they will be able to benefit by still having streams of revenue outside of Barbados. We've seen it with some of our larger companies that kept them afloat during the last decade. Our businesses benefit now and will continue to benefit through existing mechanisms, including, as I said, for small businesses, a lower tax rate of 5.5%. Many of these companies who are local will have access and have had access to the Industrial Credit Fund, the Agricultural Development Fund, the best program for tourism that we designed in the heart of COVID, and the Small Hotels Investment Fund, which we are about to recapitalize. This is not an either-or proposition. It is both, as it was always when we were liberally offering far more generous tax concessions to foreign companies. The difference is that you in the public never understood fully the quantums, because that was done between the Revenue Authority and the particular companies, anchored by legislation that passed Parliament, but the amounts were never known to the public. That's what happens when it is a tax concession, because you lose the right to earn that money. But with a subsidy, you earn money, but you spend the subsidy and pay the company the money. I want to address also issues about governance, oversight, and accountability. Because yes, your concerns are legitimate. Every cent that enters this fund and every red cent that is spent will be accounted for. The fund is administered by the Accountant General. It will be audited by the Auditor General. The applications are assessed by a broad-based advisory committee that includes public servants and private sector expertise. The committee is chaired by the Director of Finance and Economic Affairs and also has on it the Governor of the Central Bank and the Chief Executive Officers of Export Barbados and Invest Barbados, and 2 members of the private sector who must have experience in finance or business administration. My friends, it does not stop there. The Minister acts on the advice of that committee, but also seeks the advice of the National Growth Council, whose members are not members of government and whose members are not part of the partisan political space. The chairman of that National Growth Council is Mr. Doddridge Miller, a leading Barbadian businessman and Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, and the other members come from both the private sector and the union movement. These are not accidental safeguards. They are deliberate guardrails designed to protect the public interests. This is a system of governance, my friends, that has worked for Barbados in the post-independence era and has generally worked well for us. At the end of the day, the truth is that this bill is about real jobs for real people in the real world that we're living in, and not the one that we wish still existed. And to those, my friends, who say this is not the right time, I say this with respect and with conviction. There is no wrong time to do the right thing for Barbados and Barbadians. The world more and more has restricted our policy flexibility and continues to do so as small open economies in so many ways. You've heard me say so over and over. That is why so much of our time is spent trying to give us that space in our tax policy, in our trade policy, in our access to grants and concessional funds. Very often we feel that our policy space is such that we go with it with one hand and one leg because we don't have full access to the tools that other countries have as larger jurisdictions or more developed countries. This is even more acute in the very challenging and uncertain times in which we live. Disruption of supply chains and logistics, and you heard private sector businessmen in today's paper complaining about that. Tariffs being imposed across goods, restricted movement to other countries, and of course most disturbing to all of us, wars and rumors of war, not just in our region, but globally. My friends, this has nothing to do with the dislocation that we continue to face as a nation from drought, from floods, from storm surge, and from hurricanes, because that has been the lived reality of Bajans over the course of the last few years. Yes, these are not normal times. And we have to not only provide for today, but we must also recognize that we must provide for what we will face in the medium term as a nation. We must become more resilient. We must have broad-based and sustained growth from a wider base of companies. The government is working to doing this. This allows us to ease the burden on Bajan taxpayers. It allows the persons who are now about to receive the reverse tax credit to do so, or those who pay no taxes effectively because they earn between 25 and 35,000 per year, and therefore they don't pay. Ultimately, because the compensatory income tax credit returns every cent that they had paid. Similarly, it also allows persons who earn above $3,000 a month to continue to pay lower tax rates since 2019, when we adjusted the tax rates at the personal income tax level. It allows you as well to pay lower land taxes, which we have reduced year by year, but equally, by law this year, it will even become lower in 2026 for you. So, my friends, I understand your concerns, and I respect your right to question. And I believe deeply that trust is built not by silence, but by explanation. And that is why I have spoken to you directly today. These matters are vital to building the resilience of the Barbadian economy. And this is a matter of deep fundamental importance to our resilience. The government must have the flexibility to keep this country competitive and attractive for investment, to create jobs, to earn foreign exchange, to give us stability and prosperity. But it equally must always be prepared to be transparent and accountable for the actions it takes. And that is why the bill is drafted in this way. This action is not being taken under cover of night, but with full parliamentary scrutiny. Deeply conscious of the pain and suffering that Bajans endured, and the hard work we had as a government and with you across the country to do with the social partnership and you in households and businesses, the work that we had to do to restore confidence. Your government, my friends, will not play fast and loose with Barbados' fiscal and economic stability, nor with the well-being of Bajans. Nor will we shy away from the transparency required in the administration of public funds. You have my assurance as to these facts. I want to thank you for listening, and I beg you to stay safe during the Christmas season, and may God continue to bless Barbados. I have every confidence that I will, while wishing you Merry Christmas today, get the opportunity to wish you that many more times between now and December 25th. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless our country.
And God bless you. Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley there speaking about the proposed economic diversification and growth fund build and how it will help Barbados to take economic development here in Barbados to the next level. We look forward to seeing the fruits of the labor under that bill. We'll take a break. More development coming as we welcome Michelle-Ann Aki-Solomon, business coach and entrepreneur, to talk about some digital strategies for global impact and helping Caribbean women shape their future. That and more coming up right here on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Moving nicely along on this Monday morning, 7:37 is your time. Traffic should be a bit lighter today the schools are out. The children are, for the most part, at home, but we know they'll be busy going around. And for many of you viewers with us, you may be heading out a bit later because the traffic should should not non-existent. In this time, there's nothing such as non-existent traffic unless it's the wee hours of the morning or something like that. But, you know, traffic flow should be a bit easier at this time. I said should. We don't know because many people are still going to head out, you know, shopping. A lot of people on vacation as well, more tourists in the island, so they'll make up for that lost early morning school traffic. But let's talk about business development now and helping you to manage that personal brand. And to do that, to give you that assistance and some tips to help you along the way on your journey as an entrepreneur, we have Shelly Ann Solomon. She's a business coach, entrepreneur, and she's spending some time with us on Mornin Barbados to help you do just that, build your brand and build your business. Morning. How are you doing, Shelly Ann?
Good morning. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. We're all in the festive spirit, the festive mood. It's all about Christmas at this time of year, but you're still busy, you know, helping those entrepreneurs, those aspiring business people change their mindset and really get into digital solutions on this occasion because we're focusing on those digital strategies for global impact. Talk a bit about that and how you are helping in this regard shape not only the narrative but shape the individual and helping them to transition their business and their brand.
Well, in the Caribbean, as anywhere else in the world, we are no longer restricted by location. Because of the digital platforms and the internet, good Wi-Fi, we can expand our message and our businesses globally. We no longer need permission or proximity or even a passport to go global. So that's exciting. And it's also exciting looking at women who are actually exploring and leveraging those resources available to us. So that's really exciting to see, especially in the Caribbean, because now visibility is currency. The more
Indeed.
visible you are, the more visible you are, the more likely you will be heard and seen. And that's where trust and credibility is built. And when people trust you and they see that you are credible, not just visible, but credible, they are more likely to invest with you.
Yeah, for those who don't know your story about building from the ground up, tell them how you've been able to do that. Use the digital platform to leverage what you do.
Well, I started 25 years ago with $40, and I flipped that into 7 figures in 4 years, but I did not have the privilege of utilizing the digital space. But later on, as you know, business grew and time went by, I did leverage the digital space, which caused my businesses to explode. And you know, sometimes people, we have things available to us, we have assets available to us, we have platforms available to us, but we are so scared of the unknown and the unfamiliar that we, you know, push it to the side. I did that for a while, even though I was a digital marketing specialist. I didn't study it to become a digital marketing specialist. I studied it because I wanted to expand my reach using the digital platform, so I needed to understand. So that's why I went on and studied the digital platforms and how to leverage them, how to use them, how to monetize them. So once I started using the digital platforms, that's when I started to expand rapidly to other countries. So now we are in 30 countries across 14 markets. So that's exciting. So use the platforms, understand how the platforms work, and be consistent and regular.
Be consistent and be regular. And also, don't get comfortable, because I think comfort is one thing that hinders the progress of individuals, especially getting into whatever business they do. Talk a bit about maintaining that forward focus. How do you do that in a world that sometimes you get a lot of no's, a lot of not only distractions, but a lot of naysayers. And you want to keep that cup half full mentality. How do you do that?
I stay focused on my destination. And I always tell my clients and my community, before you step out, take action, invest, know where you're going. Be clear about where you're going, and understand what it entails to get there. Who do you need to become? What would be some of the trials, challenges, setbacks, roadblocks possible? You won't know all of them, but plan and prepare for setbacks. With regards to naysayers, I see them as motivators. I had to do that. I would say that they are responsible for some of my rapid growth, because I would take what they say, I would assess it, audit it. Where there was truth, I would fix, and where there wasn't truth, I would just keep on moving. Just like, okay, I'm being noticed because here they are. With regards to naysayers, they don't determine who I am or where I'm going or what I will accomplish, because they don't fund my life. And if they are not helping me, then why do they have relevance in my life? Critics are useful. Critics help you to grow. I use them as feedback as well to fuel my success. I'm not really bothered by those situations, because I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going there. I know what I want to create and what I want to see when I'm there. And I teach my community and my clients to do the same. Because what we have to realize is that we cannot put our destiny, our dreams, our goals, our life in the hands of others. Yeah. We cannot, especially if they are not supporting, they're not contributing, or they're not helping us move forward. Why do irrelevant people hold such high prominence in our lives? They're not helping us. So that's how I view them.
Yeah, you talk about building a community there. Speak about that community. Life by Designs is your baby. That's your framework. Talk about building that community for the success of other women like yourself, like-minded women.
Community is currency. I say that. I'm known for saying that. It fuels growth. It opens doors. It helps people to learn about you when you're not even in the room, because you have other people who understand the culture. You have other people who buy in to your goals, your dreams, and even your personal brand, and they speak on your behalf. And that's where credibility and integrity comes in, because people won't recommend someone who is not credible or lacks integrity, especially in business, right? So you have to create a community and create a culture within that community that helps to propel the business, to create buy-in with your audience and those attached to, because we will tell who we know. So I would know 10 people, I'll tell them. You would know 10 people, you tell them. So it's not just about Shelia knows, or Akima knows, or Carla knows. It's also who they know and who they will tell. All right. So community is an important component for business success, but it's also dangerous. It's also dangerous. So I would tell people to be very responsible when you're building and curating a community. Never, ever, as much as you can, as much as it's within you, or within your ability, do business or encourage people in your community that, selfish, I want to say selfish. That's selfish. Because I believe
selfish
in the
is
law
not
of
always bad.
reciprocity.
Selfish is not always bad, especially when you're focusing and zoning in on going to, as you mentioned earlier, your destination. You need to, put sometimes not all the eggs in one basket, but really hone in those skills to make sure that you reach where you want to go.
But in a community, so that's why I paused. That's why I hesitated, because there's always good and bad with behavioral traits. But with regards to selfish, when I say selfish, I'm talking about people who don't understand the law of reciprocity. Once you're in business, there must be an element of selfishness. There must be an element of survival. What's in it for me? But also when you're building a community, you have to think about what's in it for you, but you also have to think about what can I bring to this space. Right. So when I say selfish, I would say selfish without the understanding or the activation of the law of reciprocity and the law of abundance.
Yeah, put it in context. Put it in context for sure.
Yes, yes. So we have to always be mindful of the type of culture and the kind of environment we are creating when we are building community. So I don't want people to be reckless when they're building community by just gathering numbers. That's not a well-curated community. A well-curated community is a community that celebrates, collaborates, congratulates, support, open doors, protects, bring value to the space, not just take. Right? So we want givers and takers in the community. Also, we want to stay away from drama. And you want to make sure that your community is a community that is specifically focused on the same things. You don't want random people in your community. We all must be going in the same place, different locations, but in the same direction, meaning a direction of legacy, a direction of success, life by design. We have to have some kind of commonality when we are in the community. We can't be opposing each other with regards to what we want and the way we want to be. So if we want a peaceful community, we want to attract that type of energy to our community. If we want go-getters and action takers, we want to curate that type of community because we want like-minded people there. So I'm very particular with the community, but I will always say community is currency when well curated.
Yeah, like-minded people on that bus going to, one destination. As you say, there may be stops along the way, but once you're going in the right and the same direction. So as I know businesses are winding down, everybody getting into that holiday spirit. But as we look forward to 2026, that one piece of advice for people that you think can take them to the next step of their journey?
I would say as we move into another year, do some reflection. Also do some introspection. So look at what happened for the entire year. What went well? What didn't go well? What were you able to accomplish? What didn't you accomplish and why? What do you want moving forward? Right? Don't plan from your present state. Plan for your destination. Sit in your destination and then put things in place that is going to take you there. All right. Most people plan from where they are, which is incapacitating to a point because you're going to stay stuck in a space that you already are. You want to make sure you're moving. That's where a lot of people kind of fall off the goal setting and goal planning and
fall off the bus.
Accomplishing. Yeah, we fall off the bus there because we're planning and we're preparing from where we are versus where we want to be. So identify where you want to be. Determine what that looks like, what it feels like. Why do you want it? What's the purpose attached to that? What are the incentives? Incentives for you, your family, your community, your clients, right? Get very clear about those things and then plan for there, not here. So I would also say build a personal brand. That's very important, especially if you're using the digital platforms. There are so many charlatans now. People don't know who to trust. People don't know where to invest because they're scared, and rightfully so, because there are a lot of people that, the space is not really protected with regards to who would be the real deal and who isn't. And then you have a lot of people who are operating from a place of dishonesty. So when we see a culture of that, or we see a habit of that, people are a little bit concerned and hesitant to move forward. So make sure and build a personal brand where people can get to know you, get to understand you, tell your story, create content that constantly communicate who you are, what are your core values, what are your morals, what's your business about, why are you doing what you're doing, how do you help people, how people can find you, locate you, communicate with you. Just stay out there and get louder and be more frequent with with speaking out. Don't speak once a month and then we forget. It's a fast space, so you have to constantly be in people's air and eyes so that they can become familiar with you. The more familiar they are with you, the more they will trust you, because the more likely they'll stop and listen to you.
Indeed.
All right, so don't be haphazard and random. Be very clear, be very precise, and be regular and be consistent with what you're saying and what you are delivering. I will also say, as you move forward, this is very important to me. As you
Uh-huh.
move forward as entrepreneurs, protect your emotional and mental energy and health. That is, put yourself at the top of the priority list, not at the bottom. All right, so those would be the things I would say, for now. I mean, there are lots I could say, but that is what I would say for now, moving forward, getting ready for the next year.
Mhm.
These would be some of the big things that I would say.
Shelly Ann, thank you so much. Very quickly tell people how they can connect with you.
You can get me at Simply Shelly TNT on all my social platforms, or the fastest and easiest way to communicate with me is via my website, www.shellyacque.com.
Nice. I'll be there actually very shortly, probably at 24, just over 24 hours. I'll be in your neck of the woods. But thank you for sharing with us. The men, build your community as well. You can take some of this advice as well from Shelly Ann Solomon. She is an entrepreneur and doing very well in her neck of the woods and across the globe as well. Thank you for sharing with us this morning. Season's greetings. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. When we come back, we'll talk about the giving that the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust has been doing for 2025 and looking forward to a new year.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us a
morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time to look at some of the work being done by the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust as they have supported in a major way the Barbados Kidney Association. And it's all about giving at this time of Christmas where there are some vulnerable communities, some vulnerable people who need that help. Take a listen, take a look at what the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust are doing in partnership with the BKA.
Listen, any help we can give to any organisation, particularly at this festive time of year, it's always a great feel-good factor. Knowing we're helping families at a time when it should be all about family, but dealing with the Kidney Association and being able to assist in this particular project, it's not just about giving plentifully. It's about doing it healthily and safely for those people with kidney problems, because we do have a very large number of those people in Barbados. So just in a small way, and I think you're up to 30 odd families now, it's it's always a pleasure to be able to give, but to be able to give and know it's going right to the right place is fantastic for us.
I wanted to revitalize the relationship between the Barbados Kidney Association and the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust. They would have assisted the organization back in 2016, and we have a booklet to show for that as well, and a lot of help at that point in time. It was the 50th anniversary of independence and our 28th anniversary as the Barbados Kidney Association. So I wanted to revitalize that relationship, so I reached out and I got Miss Nikki Grant, and they have so kindly given us a very nice donation. Initially the pledge was $6,000 and now it's been increased to $10,000. So we're so very grateful to the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust for assisting the Barbados Kidney Association, and that will go a long way into helping our patients who live with kidney disease and are on dialysis. This year, as I became president, we have quite a bit of projects and programs we want to put in place. So the Christmas Hampers program has been going on from time immemorial, from the start of the Barbados Kidney Association, where we select between our nurses, they give us names of persons who are in need on dialysis because, well, I'm not sure if you know, but most persons with kidney disease on dialysis can't work and they're on a limited and set income. So there are those families who are more in need than others, so we try to give Christmas hampers around that time to those persons. So we've increased this year from 20 in last year to 34 this year. And this donation is going to definitely help that as well. We also want to put in place, and I've begun to do that for Christmas Eve, is to do a breakfast for those on the first shift of dialysis every morning. So it's a very early dialysis shift, and a lot of persons may not come in with anything to eat, and this would definitely go towards helping them and helping this meal program as well. We are planning quite a substantial World Kidney Week in March 2026, and that's the 8th to the 14th of March 2026. So that will also go toward helping us with those activities and programs between now and then as well.
It's been...
You'll get to hear more from the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust. Thank you, Sadie Ann, for sharing with us as well. But more from the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust and what they've done for 2025 in supporting communities right across Barbados. You'll hear that on tomorrow's edition of Mornin Barbados and what they're looking forward to 2026. But let's look forward to tomorrow together, where we have more great conversations and have a lot more to share with you in the spirit of giving, which is Christmas. But that's it for the Monday edition of Mornin Barbados. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, as I continue to share this space and fill in for Pearson. He should be back on Wednesday, but I will see you tomorrow at 6.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.